Gathered friends, listen again to a podcast about the Bionicle. In the time before time, in when I was younger, the
In a
great,
room you can
the
only
great,
imagine.
the great Lego company bestowed upon us, the fans, collectibles. And that's what I'm going to go with because I can't remember and my brain's not working. But yes, we are going to be talking about Bionicles Collectibles. I am your host, Onvermel, and to my left I have Ek say hi to the people.
Hi to the people.
Shut up. And to my right I have Zacta. Zacta, say hi.
Why don't I ever get to go first?
Because I'm me. And I think it's clockwise. It goes clockwise, boy.
I was sitting on the far
You're the
left
one.
the
You're
first
the.
time.
Well, you're the one who sat there. Well, I wasn't, but I was sitting on the far right
Yeah,
that
It
time.
goes clockwise.
Yeah, always goes clockwise. You're the one who keeps sitting in the wrong place. But no, today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking about Bionicles Collectibles. You love it. You love them. No one hates them. They're a lot of
You
money.
can never have enough
The
of them.
Kanoe masks, the Kanoka discs, the Rotuka spinners, the
There was more Zamorsphere different things to collect than there was squids.
Those aren't collectibles. They're just a midnight snack. Okay, we know that. Yeah.
Squids was the biggest bomb ever. I have yet to see someone who could successfully shoot one of those things.
I've successfully shot 'em, but to be honest though, those don't really count as a real collectible. They're just an ammo pack that just so happened to be blue.
After the
Yes, they're not really collectibles. They're just blue this time.
To be honest though, I like it the blue ones look better. But no, you want to say something?
That's kind of the same principle as Zamor's here. They weren't collectibles, they were just an ammo pack. Even the discs kind of fell into that.
No, the discs were collectibles because you got to collect the great disc, all the different levels. The discs were collectibles. Yes, they were also an ammo pack, but no, those were real
The
collectibles.
Spinners were not collectibles.
No, those had different colors that didn't come in sets.
So did the Zamorspheres.
Yeah, but no one wants.
So did the squid.
But no, every
But the thing is about every Zamor, you buy one Zamorsphere set, you get all the colors. You
Boom,
buy one Spinner
exactly.
set, you don't get all the colors. You get random. You have to try to buy multiple ones.
Buying one set does not count as collecting.
Did the Zamorsphere have all the same part
Yes.
counts? Because I've only ever seen the one, and I don't have any comparisons.
Yes, it's been confirmed that basically you get one, you get the exact same. I think the amounts of silver and gold might be different,
Ah, they are
but there's 3 colors and you get them all. Unlike the spinners where I think you get 2 colored, 3 blank in a set, and there's like 12 colors, so you actually have to collect them to get them all. Unless dark green, then you get Umbra, because for some reason Umbra has a spinner. But no, Bionicle Collectibles, arguably one of the most iconic aspects to Bionicle's early life, and one reason why people love it, and also a reason why people like me are going to be broke. Because I have spent so much money on
You're gonna have to
collectibles.
spend a lot more for just a few little
I
items.
still need
The
like
prices
50
of some of
more.
these have gone up
I still
so
need like
much.
50 more Karata. Or is it 30 of this?
And let's be
It's
honest,
still 50.
the rarest and most powerful kind is like $25,000.
Well, okay, the Platinum Evoke doesn't count as a collectible. That's
I'd pay
just
that.
that's your mic drop game over on the boss thing.
I think I'd rather have a yellow Ruru, to be honest.
I'd have a Platinum Evoke. Don't get me wrong, a yellow Ruru with the Santar Cobble would be excellent and beautiful and be amazing, but the star.
But which one would you rather want to mock with?
Jared, I would just have it on display with my rack with the rest. Remember? I don't actually.
You're crazy.
Yeah, Jared. But imagine me saying I have the most.
Jared,
Imagine,
need-
just imagine saying I have the Platinum Evoke, the most expensive Lego piece ever to be sold, one of a kind. Suck it.
Good thing you don't.
Yeah, I don't want me saying suck it because that'd be weird.
The rest of the Lego community can suck it that Bionicle has the most expensive piece.
Yeah, suck it, boys. Which is also another actually interesting thing about collectibles. Actually, now that you bring it up, as far as I'm aware of, no other Lego theme has truly done collectibles.
I
Collectible
mean-
minifigs do not count because that's their whole shtick.
I was gonna say, there's definitely themes where you have to collect all the merchandise, but
Okay.
they're within the sets you're already getting, not a bonus little poly bag.
I mean, like Ninjago, Chima had next they were
Nice
collectathons where it's like, okay, you got a few parts, but for the most part they weren't like true collectibles.
Nexo Knights came close with their little Nexo Shield packs.
Yeah. I would say that'd be on par with the discs. In that kind of similar vein where some you get in sets, but then there's a bunch of others that you don't really need for anything, but they're kind of cool to look at. You know?
So put them together, you have a disc and a shield now.
A weapon and a launcher, the most powerful combination of weaponry.
Heck, a Bionicle could even hold that shield. It would actually be a pretty good size for Metrotorn.
Yes, yes, yes. But looking back at Bionicle Collectibles, now, as you two are quite well aware of, I have collected a great many Bionicle. I've collected the most collectibles amongst us. Like when it comes down to T.O.A masks, I basically only have about technically 3 more to go. Well, two more to go. Depending. Okay, this is the thing is, this is the hardest part when it comes down to Bionicle collecting. Where do you draw the line? Because for one, this
If you're missing
because
something, you don't have it
well, the thing is, you got this basic starter pack. You got okay. There's all the sets. You can collect those. Great. Okay, I want all the masks. Sweet, I got those. But then the misprints are like, well, the misprints. Okay, fine. I can still get those in European mask sets. Okay, I'll collect those. Oh wait, but however, there's all these other like rare masks where like, as you were saying, the yellow brew was like, does that count because there's multiples of them? It's like how
I would
far
say
down the
there's
rabbit
3
hole?
levels. There's standard mask set stuff. There's misprints that you could find.
And then there's
then
no
there's,
hopes or
like,
dreams that you'll ever get anything ever again.
like the white Huna, the dark blue
Huna.
Matatu, the
Huna.
yellow Ruru, stuff like that. That there's only a tiny handful. That they're not misprints. They're more of a special one of a kind prints or something. I don't know exactly.
I think well most of those
Prototypes
I
that
think
never got-
I'm pretty sure that's what it was because if you look at you have a brown or Komau, a white Huna or sorry, yeah, white Huna and a dark blue Matatu. I have a suspicion these were all prototypes when they were designing the Metro Nuimatorn. I have a suspicion because they're all like Troga masks. But like yeah, that's basically where I draw my line is basically prototypes I'm not going to go to like basically misprints are one thing just because those were widely enough available that I would do it and I'm missing just 2 of those, just 2 of them, which is I mean they've gone so much more expensive now. Thankfully I started collecting a lot of these like when they were still relatively cheap and I got on that pretty good, but like I swear the moment I stopped everyone else decided to buy them in Brooklyn. Now they're like to get a single, the cheaper of the 2 masks is like $120. Oh, X just boing. I guess he's got an important work business to do. Ain't that right?
Probably New York.
Shall we trash talk him while he's gone about his collecting or something like that?
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you have us here just so you can rub it in our faces how much you have, and your people's faces too.
I mean, that's the whole point of this podcast, just so I can rub stuff in your guys' face or just
Just to
talk over,
gloat.
just so I can talk over you.
Pure gloating.
Yes,
I have
yes.
this stuff and you do not.
See, he's on the phone, so I'm like, should I just pause this now or should I just... Nah, I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But yes, collecting. So the different Bionicle like for the first about 5 years of Bionicle, there was actual collectibles, and they hit it heavy at the beginning because first you had the mask sets, where you had the T.O.A masks and the Troga
And
masks,
the rarest and most powerful.
and when there's
thing.
12 characters, each with 6 variations of their masks, that's a lot of masks. Okay, year 2, let's bump it up a notch. Not only do you get the Karana where there's 12 characters but with 8 different variations of their smaller essentially mask, the Karana, and then that year there's also the Borkal, which also was another 6 characters, each with 8 colors of their Karana, followed by the Tonuva, who each had 7 variations of their mask, and there's 6 of them. So this is already pretty excessive, isn't it, boys?
As far as random packets of who knows what, it certainly does give a wide variety of. You never know what you get. Though my biggest qualm is that they never should have put well,
The
maybe
standard.
not so much now, but the standard mask you can get in normal sets in there. It's nice getting extra masks now, but in the day that was mostly. I'm pretty sure I got a green Miru and an orange Huna in my first mask set. That was disappointing.
I don't think that was your first one, but I do know for a fact my first mask set was a brown Kakama, which is just Poharu's mask, and a baby blue Komau, which was Aniwa's. And Aniwa and Patu were the only 2 sets I had at that point. And it was like, really? And then, however, you think that's a lot of collectibles, all these 100 plus masks. Just wait until 2003. Lego decided to play dirty with their Karada. So, the Karada, there are 42 different colors of Karada, each with 6 different state variations. So just do 42 times 6. That's 300. That's like 328, 326, over 300
It's in the
variations.
Multiple 3 digits.
And needless to say, Those take a long time. I'm still missing a good handful. I got most of them, but I've spent a substantial amount of money specifically on the Karada. And the worst part is, it's like because there's so many of them, finding them like finding specific ones you're missing are so difficult because a lot of people either just don't specify, aren't bothered, or some are just less common than others. So it's like it'll be a long time until I get this. I managed to get a lot of this last year because me and Eck basically ordered about a bunch of sealed ones, and we ended up getting like a good variety. Good variety.
It does make me wonder because we knew they did with some ways of collectible minifigs. I don't know if they still do, but when they made the mass sets, were there masks that were specifically harder to acquire than others?
Um, as far as I can tell, no.
And like obviously not
Because
for
like
like possible infected masks.
as far as I can tell, all the basically standard, the 6 Taraga masks, 6 T.O.A, the 12 variations, as far as I'm aware, they was pretty evenly distributed because like there wasn't like any mask that like let's say we had an especially hard time because we weren't like we never had all the masks, so we couldn't really gauge from that way, and it wasn't like any mask that we had like oh we have like 20 red hows. No, it was pretty well and also the online community basically as far as I can tell, none of them had that. Like in a Bricklink, for the ones that are for sale, like on the secondary market, there isn't really any masks that have like substantially less than the others, except the more popular ones, obviously, like House.
See, I was kind of thinking because like in Bricklink, the full way we know how to acquire secondhand stuff, not so much noticeable now, but they were definitely ones that were more expensive than others. Like I would say, uh, like the Kopaka's underwater breathing cow that one.
I
That one was always more pricey or other. They were just some that were just more.
Well, the cows are more expensive than the rest. Now, I don't think they were more rare, but I think they are just more sought after, especially because they're transparent. So like that's just because less transparent masks. Like I find the cows and then the hows are like the most expensive ones, but I think the hows are also just the coolest. Like I said, for the Bionicles masks, as far as I can tell, the rarity of them, I don't think there was any really distinct. Because like when it came to the cows, Drar or Eck, myself, and one of our other older brothers all had a clear cow. Myself and another one of our older brothers both had a trans red cow, and then there was at least one, and there's two trans orange cows. So like honestly, when it came down to underwater breathings, like in Michael, our oldest brother had a new was like the only I think cow we didn't get in a bunch of like in actual masses was Liwa's, and like we actually had like a good chunk of them. So like they definitely weren't rarer by any means, and even on Bricklink, there's plenty to on sale for the well, not really anymore, but there's like not a lot of any of the masks for sale anymore. But I think like I said, they're just more popular. There's like that allure of transparency. Although one thing that did take us a really long time to realize was that the trans orange one was meant for Pohatu. We were always not sure about that.
Which really worked in your favor, didn't it?
And later on, yes, it did work in my favor.
Well,
And also that means I actually got another mask for
yeah,
Pohatu.
exactly. Like Poatu was yours,
Well,
and you've had this for I don't know how long.
I managed just through mask sets and training with siblings to get at least 4 of his masks. His original one that came with him, obviously. I got his Picari from training with our oldest brother for a gold Picari. And then I ended up getting the Miru and Cow later on from Gerard at some point. I think for the most part, all of us, like a lot of the T.O.A, like every T.O.A I think we had about 4 masks, like between all of us had about 4 masks to except a Nuwa. Our oldest brother had 5 to his Nuwa.
Did Angela manage to get all but one to Galley just through trading? Or did
She
we...
originally had 4, and I think she got like a Picari later on from like you, like cause I got like a Picari and a How from just a mask set, a mask I found in a canister at a thrift store, like before it was a big thing. So she had, I think, gone up to 5 by the end of it. Hey, Ek, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back. I had to step out for a minute. Kopaka was the one with mine who had the most masks. He had 4.
My Poitou had 4. Unfortunately, I think your Lewa did not have 4.
Until second-hand purchases came around, I had a total of 2 for Liwa and at
Ooh.
some point Galley.
That's also reminded. I forgot to mention when I was doing my math of masks, I totally forgot about the gold and silver masks, which adds even more collectibles. So basically, in the first 3 years of Bionicle, the amount of collectibles you had was just like astounding.
roof.
I might put a number on the screen for this for the viewers, or I might not, depending how I feel. If not,
Math is
do the
a lot
math
of
yourself.
work.
It is a lot of work. Like when there's like 300 plus Karada, which are easily like half the collectibles from the first 3 years, I would say there's probably around 700 collectible or I'll just say because with all the Krana masks, I think it's around 700 collectible items. And now, when you think about it, on the secondary market, on average, all these items are worth more than $5. Some going up to 150.
Unless it's Krana. There's 150 of them, but they're not worth that much money. They're like maybe
$5.
$1.
I think they've gone up a little bit. Like I would say some are worth like up to $5 though. Like some of the calls at least for sure. I think.
What they really should have done was with the original mask set, the T.O.A head that you could get in there, they should have given you colors of eyes of other transparent colors that did not come in the original sets. That would have been the big seller.
They already had 6 color eyes. There wasn't that many other trans colors.
Paul.
They didn't. Trans purple didn't exist back then.
An interesting
Didn't
idea, but I don't know.
I mean,
I would have just been happy if Lego started just having more transparent eyes later after
really-
Metchnui, but
really wasn't any other option.
but then after 2003, basically the collectibles kind of went down. I'm assuming the Karata just didn't sell. Well, they basically I think bit off more than could chew with Karata.
Like, okay,
And
we're
so-
pushing the envelope.
In 2004, they basically dialed it back to just a Kanoka disc launcher set, where you basically got a unique colored Kanoka a launcher, which the unique colors only came in these sets, which was nice. So you got them 6 variations, colors, and then you basically got 2 discs, which again were unique to these. So you weren't getting like the standard disc from the sets, and each color of Kanoka basically had about 8 variations. You know the numbers went from 1 to 9. Most sets of them only had 8 of them. So 8 times 6 is 48. So 48 different like discs that you could collect with 6 different color launchers. You know, not crazy. At least, you know. And what the funny thing about that was the first 3 I got, the only 3 that I ever got sealed for the Kanoka disc. So the packaging of the box has basically a red and a brown disc with a red disc launcher, just as a standard packaging. All 3 of my ones I got had a brown and red disc. The first one I got had the red disc launcher, and then the second one had a brown disc launcher. And I'm just like, apparently I can only get the color of discs that are on the packaging, which was great for me because, sweet, I get more brown discs. My collection goes up into the roof. Take it away, Zach.
It was nice. Only ever getting one when they first came out. I'm pretty sure I got the green disc launcher.
Yeah, for actually for.
I had a black and a red, but I don't know which one I got first at the top of my head.
You got the red first, because you got the black from. Wait, did I get the black from you? Because no, I traded. I think I got the black off you because I gave you my red one.
That could have been it.
Because I was the only one with the black for a while, and I'm pretty. Unless I just got. Because I'm pretty sure I got a brown, a red, and blue on my 3 sets.
Of course, what's really humiliating is that the only one of us to ever get a great disc was our younger sister.
Yes. The most sought after item was the younger. And the thing is, she was never willing to part with it too.
And it wasn't
She very much was just like, oh, they want this. Nah, they can't have it. Well, like
She
you wanted
lorded
it.
it
Well,
over me.
which was really amusing actually.
It was the green one,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, it was.
Which is also the only great disc that I'm missing right now. Which is like
Oh, Jordan
Slap
has it
you.
too, eh?
no, he just wants to laugh.
Oh, well, that's...
So
I will laugh because I do have it.
oh, come now, gentlemen. Only the snootiest laughs around here. Oh, that's the spirit. You jest. But definitely looking at back at the collectibles, I think that was a huge part of Bionicle's early identity because you look at the Lego reports, which is something that our oldest brother did to record what Lego sets we got because he did not have enough he had too much free time.
These records were very useful, actually.
They're very useful for our own personal needs. But you look at the records in 2002, and the amount of mask sets that oh no, I'll blur that out. That's not our last name. That our family the Houstons. Who are you talking about? But the amount of the mask sets that our family bought in that year, and even like going into 2003 a little bit, was excessive. Like after that one, we got a fair bit of the Krana ones with the gold and silver, not as many. And then once the Nuva masks came out, we only got about a half a dozen. Because I think, let's see, there was 3 Kopaka Nuva masks, the green one, a brown, and a red. So 3?
A total of 3. Yeah, that sounds about right. I believe
And you
I
got
had
2?
1 or 2.
You
I
had
think
2.
I had 2, and I believe Daniel had the other one.
Yeah.
I'm positive Daniel
Which-
had 2.
Well, maybe there's
I
only two. Let's see.
remember
Hold on.
him opening
We
it.
had a Leo Nuva got one mask. Platanuva got one. I believe Michael got Tau Nuva's underwater breathing. Or did Tau Nuva not? Or did I get that from something else and trade it for Michael? I'm gonna say one brown, one green. I know at least 3 white. And I think 1 red. Yeah, I think that was it. I think there was just
I am
3
positive
sets.
I had a
But
white and I know I had the green, but I know
yeah,
I
you had a white speed.
That's really.
And I had a white, I had a white speed in How, and I traded that How to you later. I do not know for the life of me how I ended up getting these off Eck, because I know I got them off him, because I never bought any, but somehow I got them
I
off
had
him.
A lot of it had to do with the fact that I did not have Kopakanuva.
Yeah, but I didn't have any good trading material. Well, actually, I bet what happened is I'd gone some Plata masks off you, and then I probably traded them back to you. That trans orange cow went around. It made its rounds a fair bit. Just saying.
You said I had a Kakama Nuva in white.
Yep, you traded that to Dan later on, I think.
I was gonna say because I really don't remember that. Like I know I had another Nuva mask other than the green Picari Nuva, which I now happily have 3 of.
Oh, I know for a fact you had that, and then later on you traded or early on you traded to Daniel.
Oh, it started.
I
to
don't
come
know
back
what
to
for
me now.
what.
I don't think I got
but-
rid of it. I'm pretty sure I've always had it because when I got your How Nuva, I had 2. Finally had 2.
But I think
masks.
after you got my How Nuva, you ended up trading the
No,
Kakama.
I never traded that.
Okay,
to
well,
Daniel.
Whatever it is, we basically had Nuva masks, which we didn't get very many. And then when Krata came around, I was the only one who actually bought a Krata set. And that was a very interesting trip.
Pretty sure Daniel had his own.
No, the Krata set? No, he didn't.
Kakama Nuva.
But basically, with the Krata set, there was only one. I was the only one. It was even just an impulse. I was like planning to buy a bigger set, or I didn't think I had the money for the bigger set, so I was like, okay, I'll buy these 3 small sets, and I'll just pick up a Krata set. I was the only one who like had a Krata set for a long time. Unfortunately, I was disappointed because they were funny, weird color Krata. Look back now, I'm rather more excited about that, and now me and Ek own plenty canisters of those little sets.
We bought a bunch off of Bricklink for a slightly higher than.
It was an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah, it was a bit pricey, but well worth it.
It was like triple the retail price essentially. And when you're buying like what was it like 30 some copies of it or something?
30 some copies at triple the retail price. Just do the math.
Just it was a lot of money. Like I said, I have spent an exorbitant amount of money on my collectibles. Like my Bionicle collectibles are worth a couple grand.
Only a couple.
Okay, fine, maybe several grand. Probably like 3 grand, maybe.
Don't tell anyone where you live.
I will never tell anyone that I live in the Bahamas, but but
Oh crap! We have to move now.
Hawaii, here we come.
please open up.
So you're being robbed by the police, are we?
Well, you see, we social gatherings in the Bahamas are illegal now, don't you know? Well, that was a weird little tangent, but there wasn't a point to this podcast. It was more so we just wanted to talk about Bionicle and collectibles. It wasn't item on the menu. I mean, we still have time, but I would say the Krata were a little too much. Like as much as I like that, there's a lot of them. It's more thrilling. It's also too many, and unlike all the other collectibles, there's not figures that match them. Every other collectible are basically you can swap out for the characters that have already been made. These ones are for non-existent characters, and the colors of the Krata don't even match the color of the type of character that they're supposed to
I
go into.
feel sorry for Greg who had to come up with all those powers for all those Krata.
Yeah, dodge. The power of dodge.
There's like half of them you could eliminate and not even notice. So what happens when you have a Krat of what is it? Really good reflexes versus like perfect aiming? Because I think those are both things, but the words are not.
No,
lining
there's
up.
nothing like perfect aiming or anything like
I'm
that.
pretty sure it is.
Like
yeah?
Hookie's mask or something.
Well, Hookie's mask.
that-
Hookie's mask can like toss at stuff, and then this Krata can dodge it. So what do we do now?
Jard, the forces
Near
of the
miss
walls of
near
reality
miss
would
after
break
near
down.
miss.
The fourth wall would be gone. There would be no
more likely, the powers just cancel each other out, and they just have to duke it out with fists.
just a
So near miss.
Simmering.
Everything's a good shot.
and. But the thing is, when the Kanoka disc came out, we actually got a few more copies. Like I got 3, you probably got a couple. You say you got 1.
For sure.
Felicia, our youngest sister. I'm just name dropping everybody. Sorry if you guys get doxxed later. See, this thing is when you have like
Just
no
bleep
view,
it out,
when you
Paul,
have
just
that's a
bleep it
lot of
out.
work and editing. See, when you have like no one watching these, see, this is the things. I need to get names for all the siblings. I do have a list of them. She was the seventh Toa. Also, Lesef, Onvermel, Ek. We had How One, I believe was
How
for
two.
no How One. Uh, what did we call our second oldest brother? What did we have? We had a he was like
The Lost Toa, maybe?
the lost one. I think it was like How One, the lost Toa, Mithra. I think we just called her that.
Mm.
So
Why not
the
just
thing
go
is, we
with
have
Tormenticel, Robin Hood, Mithra, and then the seventh?
because I'm not called Purple if he's not known as Elephant Knight. That's why.
You can just shorten it to Ek, and now it's the Bionicle version.
Or EK.
I was
then
gonna
X.
say Ek is just shorthand
We-
for Elephant Knight.
The thing is, I have more than one online name that people know me by. Onvermel is the Bionicle one, and actually is more the more current one. I haven't used Purple Wolf in a while, so
Let's be honest, it's Onvermel.
it is Onvermel. It's funny because the weirdest thing ever is because it's only an online show. I was on the PlayStation. I just ended up chatting with these random dudes, and because my name is on the PlayStation is Onvermel. So if anybody wants to look for me, all three of you don't. Um, basically they would be like, "Yo, Ani" or Onvermel. Like just hearing someone else call me Onvermel that I didn't know was really really weird, but I kind of liked it. It was pretty cool. It was like, "Yo, this is an online persona. I like this." Ooh.
It's like when you get to
Yeah,
choose your nickname and people actually start calling you by that nickname. It's just so sweet.
I've been tempted to having people at work call me PJ. Like get new coworkers just call me PJ. It's not too out of the realm of possibility, you know. Pretty normal.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not
Me
a
and my
PJ.
best friend
The
got
P stands for pathetic.
J stands for
pathetic.
joking.
Joking. Perfect Chester. But no, like me and my best
No,
friend.
it's Jagings. Pathetic Jagings.
Pathetic Jackings. There was one point where me and my friend tried calling ourselves DJ and PJ. DJ stuck, PJ didn't. We'll just say that. But Bionicle Collectibles. Rain. So basically, after the Canoga disc, which we actually got a few more than normal. Basically, when the Rutuka spinners came out, I did not get any. You guys both got a couple.
I believe I thought I was the only one.
No, you had
I have at least
Zach
one.
had one or
I've had a college
maybe
spinner for
two.
ages.
No, no,
You may have just gotten the spinner off of me.
no, because our youngest sister had all three blue. I had the brown. You had the black and yellow. I think we were only missing like one between all of us.
There was only like 2 bought, but I had a good colored one for the colors that we collect.
Well, they only have 2 color ones in it and 3 blank. There was more than I think our younger sister bought one. I'm pretty sure you have one. I think there was
I
4.
thought there was 3 colored.
Okay, it might be 3 colored and 2 silver, but there's not that many. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know there was only 5 spinners.
Let me see. I have my computer right in front of me.
Okay, we're just gonna buy a sealed one now and see what
I'm
we get.
checking this on the biggest the source that we use for everything, Bricklink. It's not just a it's not just a marketplace. It is like a database for Lego. This is why I peruse the site many times, and it's quite usually accurate on this sort of stuff. So just saying.
That's one theory that people have why Lego itself bought Bricklink is because for the data that it contains.
Yeah, Lego
I
bought
mean,
Bricklink, so
I
weird.
think there's been a lot more Blacktron appearances since Bricklink was bought by Lego.
Not
Think
really.
about it. When
Okay,
did
so apparently I
Blacktron
had
start?
4 colored one and 1 silver. That makes sense. So let's see. Looking at that, 4 colored. Okay, we had all 3 blue. I know you had black. We had brown. We had 1 green. We had dark red. One of the shades of red.
No.
No, I'm pretty sure because
I
there's
know
dark
I
red
had
and normal
yellow.
red. There's yellow, black, brown. I'm gonna say green, 3 blue. Okay, so it might have just been 2 sets to be honest then. Oh yeah, you might have been wrong. Might have been right. I know those are interesting because we got those at No Frills or what it was called before, a grocery store.
Extra foods.
Yeah, we bought Bionicle at a grocery store, which is kind of weird to think about. I didn't get any. I still don't have a Rutuka set. Technically, I think I have an extra box. I think I might have. No, there's only a couple. I wouldn't have an extra box yet. I do need to get that. But then when the Zammer spheres came out, none of us got it. It was like, why? And they weren't like, everywhere. Like the old collectibles, like you'd find them everywhere. Like these were like half the purpose of Bionicle.
And like was pointed out earlier, it's not a collectible thing. It's a ammo pack, and we had enough ammo.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the spinners were an ammo pack and they were kind of lame, but at least you could collect your color. Because yes, us younger Toa, when we were Matorn, basically we collected colors of Bionicle. See, there were 7 of us, but when Bionicle first came out, our younger sister wasn't collecting right away, so there were 6 of us, and there were
She
6
was just
colors.
a little bit too young.
So there were 6 colors and 6 of us. Now, in the 6 oldest of us, there's only 1 girl and 5 guys. Well, look at that. Bionicle has 5 guys and 1 girl for every set. So, obviously, Hal won, judging by his name. He started collecting the red. And the Forgotten Toa, our second oldest brother, started collecting the white. Older sister, Mithra, she started collecting the blue, because obviously blue girls. She was the girl. And then us 3, things got a little bit more murky, because our first colors were not all the ones, for the most part. I started collecting brown right off the bat because it was like the last one left. And my first set was a brown. Now, Eck, though, had something a little different.
Yeah, I tried to collect another color, but I honestly got stuck with black, which, in hindsight, it works great.
It does work great. I mean, you tried collecting red. You tried, but you just always end up with black. And then Zactag got the green, which he's very happy with, which is fun. But it worked really great for our parents because in later years you could tell they knew which colors we wanted, so they just could buy all 6 of them and then split amongst. It was really, I bet Mom loved the fact that she could be like, okay, they have their colors. This makes it easy. Like, I bet she loved it.
There was still occasionally times where we didn't get the right color, but that was probably most likely, I would think, due to the fact that our mom couldn't find all 6 colors.
Because usually when that happens, there'd only be 4 colors around, sort of thing.
Or in some cases, I'm looking at you, Matatorn, there just wasn't 6 colors.
Lucky enough, there was a brown one, and I got the best one. I got the Hafu.
The less brown of the brown ones.
Yes.
When I got the white and dark gray, so it's kind of blackish. We tried to make it a Onumatoran. It didn't work.
Yeah. As long as I'm like, I feel like Hafu. I feel that his personality matched me rather well. He's an egotistic, centric maniac, bit of a narcissist. I'm not gonna say I'm a real narcissist, but I like to pretend I'm a narcissist a little bit, just a little bit. But wow, collectibles. But yeah, no, definitely Bionicles Collectibles were, I think half the reason, like, was definitely helped keep it in people's conscious mind, because like even if it kept, it was like a small, like it was easy for younger kids to buy like a mask set and get something nice out of it. Like for me, who did not have much of spending money, could still buy mask sets like my older siblings did. And older kids, it was like Pokemon cards. You could just buy a bunch. I think people generally just like collecting. Well, people who people who are into collecting like having something to collect. Not everybody is a very materialistic guy. Like we're hoarders. We're a bit of hoarders of a family. We like owning stuff. We like, this is why I think we also like DVDs over like just watching. We like owning the DVD. And so collecting, I think, was very much in our kind of blood a little bit. Like it was like we really liked the idea of just collecting and being perfectionists, and maybe not perfectionists but completionists. And unfortunately, though, that means I have to get all the crap. I have to get all the massive. Oh gosh, the money.
Just the other day, I finally completed my Glatorian figures. I got a Terexin from Bricklink. He's not the first Terex I've actually owned, but he's the first one I've owned.
He's also the first one that's actually complete because he wouldn't have the shoulder spikes.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, when it comes down to like not actual collectibles, but just like the base sets, once the one Bricklink order comes in, I'll finally have all the standard canister size sets. I only recently got the last of the small box sets, and I am nearing to having all the Titan sets. That will be one.
I'm fairly close myself. There's gonna be a certain pricey mask that I'm gonna have to acquire at some point.
And you just have some like large battle vehicles that you still need to get as well too.
Yeah, that's mostly what it's missing at this point. A bunch of battle vehicles and like a few parts to some sets and some Rahi.
Yeah, I like at least one of my Rahi sets, and I think that's actually, I think right now the Tarkov is the only set that I have built that's actually missing parts right now that I can think of.
I'm gonna have to acquire some gold masks, because they're the only gold of that color, and I want to make a Bionicle with that gold.
Well, that was a bit of a random thought.
We're talking about collectibles. That's been on my mind.
Yeah, but it didn't really flow.
It's very much a tangent, straight out of the left turn out of nowhere tangent.
I feel like you just hiccuped up.
I am the fig burp champion here. Is this really out of the realms of my thinking?
Not on the realms of your thinking. No, definitely not. Definitely not.
It's out of the realms of our thinking.
Maybe. I don't know. My brain thinks in mysterious ways. But Bionicle, I think definitely they haven't messed up in the year one. I was saying with having basically the mask you get with the standard sets be included in the mask sets. Because definitely after that you can tell that like besides the Krana, which even with the standard sets of Borok, you would get variations on card. Like technically, you didn't need to buy the Krana packs to get all the Krana with the Borok. You could in theory just buy a bunch of the actual standard sets, but that you basically more bought those sets for the gold and silver masks, and the Krana were a bonus. Let's be honest. No one was buying those to get the Krana collection.
It was a cheaper way to get Krana, maybe.
Now, the thing about all these collectibles is Lego, the story group in Bionicle also did find a way to incorporate these into the story. Basically, I mean, let's be honest, the T.O.A had to go and collect them too. It wasn't like incorporated super well. Year 2, Krana. Oh, the T.O.A had to collect them. The discs. Okay, they only had to collect one of them. The Krata, okay, technically the Krata sets had no story relevance. Because, the Krata themselves have a minor story relevance. The ones in the sets had none. Those were more just, I would say, gloating privileges for Bionicle fans at this point. Not very many people have that full sets.
I wish all the Rahi had infected masks, or you could just get more variety of infected masks within the sets.
You
Like
and your
massive.
side thoughts.
We're talking about collectibles.
We have segues into this. You could be like, oh yeah, so it would be cool if my sets had infected masks. Actually, it would also be cool if Maya's set. It's the segues. The segues.
Paul, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what you were just talking about, so I just went
Wait,
and
hold
put
on.
my.
I'm not even freaking paying attention. Okay.
Out.
Oh my gosh, you people. Ed just left the room. You're zoning out. You're having segues about talking about infected masks now. And
It's on topic.
No, it's on topic, but it's not on
You
conversation.
need to learn to transition.
Segues!
I'm pretty sure every segment I have this would have been great if they'd done that
Yeah,
moment.
but at least, before it always at least made more sense. This is just like if I was talking. It's like you don't even say like I have another thought. You just say it. And it's like okay. Well, collectibles are expensive. There's a lot of them. I love them. We might have to go in depth more about specific ones someday. I don't know. This just went off in weird tangents. The thing about podcasts is there's not a point to them as much as there is like, okay, when you write a story, there's kind of an end goal. I don't think there's usually an end goal in podcasts. It's more just rambling.
This one specifically is just for this guy here, the Onvermel, to talk.
I mean, a little bit, yes. That's mostly what this is, to talk. But the thing is, I can't
For
talk.
him to talk and for us to not talk.
Well, it's more, no, you guys can talk. But the thing is, I can't talk by myself. I need people around to randomly ramble and at least bounce off of. So, like I said, I kind of feel like this could have been a little bit better. Just like on my own part, Like, I was talking about collectibles, but the thing is, it's like, a lot of this is information that, like, Bionicle fans already know. A lot of this isn't new. But I'll definitely say this: one of the most difficult thing about getting any of these collectibles is because they're highly sought after. Obviously getting them like brand new is expensive, and the worst part is when you have a sealed one, you kind of want to keep it sealed, but it teases you, it tantalizes you on the shelf. And you're just like, I really, really want to open it. I just want to see what's in there.
I know. I have a sealed gold and silver mask, and now that I want gold mask, that is looking awfully tempting.
I mean, there's a slight possibility it might be 2 silver. I did get one that was 2 silver one time.
That would be awesome.
So, but I keep looking at
Which means that there's probably one out there that had 2 gold.
and don't forget about the elusive one that's got 3 gold. I don't know how that works, but there's 1
3 gold masks.
and 2 Krana. It's a weird one.
Do Bionicles rate
Weird.
things on gold masks and not gold stars?
Possibly.
Or
Yeah,
is it rated on red
that's
stars?
that's 3 gold Picars I give it, but the last
I
one
rated
only.
3 Picars.
3 Picars.
Not quite 2 hows, but still up there.
But like I really, I have basically like all the collectible like that you can get from these like standard collectible sets, like not including prototypes and such. So I basically like I could have one of these sealed and it wouldn't affect my collecting, but because I also mock with these parts, like that's the thing is I'm not just a collector. None of us are just collectors. We're also mockers. So we don't just collect the sets, but we also build the stuff, which, you know what, being a collector and a mocker kind of sucks, because if you're one or the other, it's kind of easy to focus on something. But then it's like, you really want to build something. It's like, I really need this piece. It's on that set. Oh, but I want to take from the set. I can't take from the set. It's on its display. Like, I can't do this. So you have to get like another one. So you have to get like 2 copies of everything. And for me with mass, I need like 3 copies of everything, because I need the set, I need my collecting display, and then I need one for mocking. It's like a lot of money.
I'm a little bit more of a mocker, so I'm fine with just having 2 copies of it all, because I don't need one on display.
You do like to mock people a little bit, don't you?
Especially you.
Thank you. Like I said, they don't call me Onvermel mock the nothing.
Which is weird, because Paul mocks us with his level of skill.
Name drop! He dropped the last name again!
I know. I have mocked you guys. I haven't. Ack. I'm wearing quotations because it's not technically an act, but it is your self mock, and I do have a Lissette built. So I do mock you guys. And am I the one who's actually built mocks of you guys?
I
you guys
have
built
the
mocks?
Utahops of each other.
Ah, yes. See, yeah. But honestly, I'm wondering. I'm just kind of curious though whether or not collecting would work
Also have the Knights
in
that counts as mocking.
modern like Lego things, because like as you were saying near the beginning of this, like how Nexo Knights had the shields, and you and me kind of got a little into it near the end, like the end of the shield run, and so we basically got more or less the full set to the first wave of those collectible Nexo shields.
It helped that they were dirt cheap at Toys R Us, because no one else bought them.
Yeah, they got, I think, what, down to like $1 each. I think we were buying them around for. But like the things, like you look at that, they didn't sell one. I'm like, no, Lego hasn't also even just tried collecting after. But like Bionicles Silent made collecting big, and also at and also made it undesirable. Like through the course of Bionicle, it became like super like business smart to have collecting, and then it also became very well, we don't really need this anymore. So
Well, when something like Lego, it has to be somewhat like practical to use, as well as in Bionicle's case, maybe kind of practical to store. Like the mass, when it comes to creations, great. Craddock, when it comes to creations, boring.
I'm pretty sure what it came down to when it came down to mass for collecting compared to anything else was just cool factor. Because let's be honest, the Kanoe mask just looked cool. And the Krana, okay, not as cool as mask, still had masks with them and were still, pretty cool. But look, the Krata. Okay, Krata are not like, oh, dude, that's sick. It's more so, oh, that's interesting. You kind of like look at it like it's like funny, and then you realize there's 300, then you give up. And then discs, okay, that's nifty, but it's not like, oh, cool. So by the time you got the spinners, like Trojan, no one really cared. It's like masks are cool, and like the Nexo shields, they're nice, and some of them have some uses, like, oh, that one's got bats on it, I can use that, but they're not like, they just don't have that same cool factor that a Kanoe mask has.
Yeah, the spinners were really boring. I got one, it was like, well, I'm good.
Basically. And even Gen 2, I think they tried tapping into the collecting mask a little bit, where, every set had like an extra gold mask. Okay, this is actually something about the collecting in Gen 2 I think they should have done. What they should have done was, because every character basically in their set had their golden mask with it as well. So, you buy their set, you get their golden mask. Sweet. What they should have done was have each other's golden mask in each other's sets. So basically, you want Tahu? Okay, sweet, you got him. You want his golden mask? You have to buy Liwa. Oh, now you have Liwa. You want his golden mask? You have to buy Galley. Like, it would have been dirty.
You want Poitu's golden mask? You have to buy Poitu.
Like, don't get me wrong. It would have been dirty.
That would have been a good idea, I think, and a good marketing ploy.
Like I said, it would have been dirty, underhanded, but at the same time, it would get people to want to get all the sets, because that was a problem with Gen 1 with Pohatu, before I grab it, was, okay, you want to get like for the T.O.A or something, but then Pohatu was brown, you didn't want him, so there was no reason to get him. Something like this. So even if, let's say, Liwa was the lame one, which honestly he wasn't, you'd be like, well, I really want Tao's mask in him. So I'm just saying.
So you mean the stars?
Kind of.
You want all the armor pieces? You gotta get all the sets.
But the thing is,
Or you just buy 3 of the one set, because, 3 of them had the same armor.
Okay.
oh yeah, that is true. I kind of forgot the stars. Yeah, stars. But they were also just 6 small sets, so it's it's a different level of scale.
They're the same size and price as the original.
But you can tell with Gen 2, like they realized that the mass collecting or just mass in general were a key part. So they definitely try. However, what I'm really annoyed at Gen 2 was, sorry, I just had a little bit of gas there. Sorry, gentlemen. Just gonna get that out. Okay, but the thing about Gen 2 was they technically had like super rare, valuable masks that aren't misprints, but they're not standard stuff. They're like Comic-Con exclusive masks, which are arguably worse because basically there were three different ones. The first one, which was a clear version of T.O.A's mask, you can get it from two ways. One was like a very original, like when Bionicle was announced. Like it wasn't one was like they were both basic conventions, but one was like a slightly smaller one where there was less of them. And then there was like more wild distribution at a Comic Con where there was like several thousand given out. So okay, rare, but at the time, a lot of people got in like, oh, I don't really know how to do this. I'll just sell it to people. I got one for like $40, so okay. I know that sounds like a lot of money for a single piece, but for collecting how much they go for now, that was a heck of a deal. Then there was a trans neon green skull mask from later that year, also available at Comic Cons, about the same distribution, roughly the same price. All right, I actually got two of those, one for mock, one for display.
I have one of those as well.
Yes, there's three of them amongst us. However, only two of us have it. However, then Lego did me dirty and decided to have at a Lego like inside tour thing, a trans blue variation of Galley's Masquerade, which there was only 200 available. Now, I basically once I get one more like poly bag for Gen 2, I will own every basically Gen 2 plastic Lego piece that was available except that bloody mask, which I could find them on Bricklink. But I don't have like $1,000 to drop like on a spare chain notice.
1,500 even.
Yeah, I remember you can get them under 1,000. I thought that was a good deal. But it's just like they had that they went a little bit into the collecting aspect of it, but I feel like there's also the same problem with a lot of stuff at Gen 2. Like the good collecting stuff, and just a lot of it was very much only the adults could target. Like most kids wouldn't even know about these at all, which is fine for the adults. But I'm just looking at this going, how am I who lives in Canada? Wow, now I just doxed us. Well,
we lived in Hawaii
No,
now.
no, no. Actually, we live in Nebraska.
Quick! Now we have to move back to the U.S. The cops are coming again.
We always lived in UX.
Cops, open up.
We just call Alaska Canada because it's cold up here.
Yes, it is very cold up here in Alaska, but essentially, I don't live anywhere where these things like were available. So someone like it's like we did mass sets, you could just buy a bunch and eventually you could get them all. Well, this is like, how the heck is a layman supposed to get this all dunking down a bunch of money? And that's my problem with actually just Comic-Con exclusive stuff too. I don't usually care about it. I understand.
I think a lot of people have that issue.
However, on the flip side, I also feel extremely proud that I actually own some of these by spending the money, and I got them. Thank goodness, like I said, all these collectibles. Thank goodness I got them most of them while I did, because I swear, kind of after I stopped collecting most of them, because now I have most of them, the price of everything just jacked up.
I'd feel prouder if I got it without having to spend the money.
I mean, that would have been great too, but the fact that I can say I own two of the trans neon green masks and like a lot of people don't, is like, hey.
Though let's be honest, $40 for a mask that you'd have to go to Comic-Con to get is probably actually cheaper.
Well, look at it. Yeah, actually a little bit. That's actually kind of true. So actually, I think we got them for like $32 each, $36. I know we got a deal because we got like more than one, I think. But essentially, that mask I think now goes for like 100 plus. I think was like the only one that we found that was available. Same with like the clear one I think was $1,000, but it was a slightly different variation. Needless to say, there's some very sought after items now, and I'm glad that at least my Bionicles Gen 2 collection has a couple, and I do have like even some other interesting stuff like I think it's a Danish comic or magazine magazine, and some stuff. But like whatever Bionicles did with their collectibles, it was a very iconic part of it. And I think it was one of the reasons why it did financially so well, because essentially the mass sets were probably cheap to make. Like let's say, like I think they were like what, $3? I think they were like just $3 when they came out, and I bet they probably made what they were like what 50 cents to produce, because it's just plastic really. Like let's be honest, they probably made a killing off just the mass sets mostly, is where a lot of the revenue, like where the money actually came from, and subsequent years after that. But you could tell that after 03, they're like the crowd probably didn't sell as well. I mean, they also had plastic canisters, so they probably dialed it back there. I mean, I don't know. But it's something like that. So he's like, I'm sensing that's like one reason why Bionicles was as successful as was, like financially. But for fans, it is a bane of our existence, but it's also like one of the coolest parts. And for mockers, we are extremely thankful for these collectibles because they gave us actual variations of masks that now you can make green peel that don't all just look like Liwa or brown peel that all look like Pohatu. You know, I still make brown peel look like Pohatu. Han is a very good example of this.
Hey, that was me, not you.
Yes. Well, I'm like I
You
built one.
also have
I
the
built
potato
I built
squad.
one. That's also actor.
Yeah.
You just like building Pohatu lookalikes.
No.
He's lying. Put him in the handcuffs. Cops, open up. We're going to arrest you, buddy. I'm not...
Oh, dang, nabbing that again.
Alright, hook him up.
I'm just
Okay,
gonna head out
he's
now.
gone.
TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Yeah, you'll need to talk to us later. So I'm going to finish off by myself. Eck is now in jail. Zach had left. We're going to be watching some Spider-Man after this, probably. Thank you guys for joining in. There's like probably only like 8 of you going to be watching this video, but that's okay. No, that's okay. As I was saying, you know, Collectibles had something. I love to see Lego trying to bring it back. However, I hope they bring it back in something that I'm not interested in because like I said, I've spent way more money on these collectibles than I ever need to, and I still am going to be spending more money on these collectibles once I get them finished. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host Onvermel. This is the T.O.A. podcast on the Onvermel Report, and I am retiring from the night.